2022 season was full of ups and downs and plenty to celebrate, including another addition to this year's Pro Bowl roster. We hand out our season superlatives for the Commanders. Plus, second-year safety Darrick Forrest made a name for himself on defense in 2022. He stops by the Players Club to discuss his breakout season. And with the offseason underway, we share our thoughts on what the Commanders' coaching staff should try to make a priority with our off-season wish list. Posting a career-high 11.5 sacks, Daron Payne is being rewarded with a trip to the Pro Bowl. It was announced that Payne will be replacing injured Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald at this year's games in Las Vegas. Payne is the first Washington player to record 10 or more sacks in a season since Ryan Kerrigan posted 13 back in 2018. Washington is now sending 5 players to the Pro Bowl. And with that, we welcome you on into Command Center. Julie Donaldson, Logan Paulsen, and Fred Smooooot. Wow, congratulations to Daron. I think we saw and anticipated this coming, but you have to wait until it's official. But very, very well deserved. What'd you say, Fred?
Most of all, I got to say this. He should have been in the first group. Aaron Donald, I think that go that name comfortability. Once you're in there, you're a part of that group. But at the end of the day, I thought he should have been first team. I thought he should have got in with the rest of the guys. But congratulations, my brother. It's totally earned.
Yeah, absolutely. The comfortability of it is absolutely why Aaron Donald went. I think Payne just was outstanding. Tackles for losses, sacks, super disruptive, down in and down out. Totally deserved it, 100%.
And you just talk about the interior of that defensive line. Yeah. My goodness. Of course, John Allen going back to his second Pro Bowl. I think once you're there, it's easier. People get more used to your name, that familiarity. But Daron is going this year, and he's in for a very interesting offseason, shall we say. But looking forward to seeing him out in Vegas. Now, despite missing out on the playoffs this year, the Commanders finished the 2022 campaign with their most wins in a season since 2016, when they finished the year 8-7-1. Now, Washington's defense was the strength of the team, ending the year with the league's top-rated goal-to-go defense and held opponents to just over 304 yards per game, which was third best overall. So time now for our mission debrief, brought to you by the Washington Times. And now that the 2022 season is in the books, let's share some superlatives. Let's start with some of our MVPs. And who would that be, basically, for the entire team this year, Logan?
For me, it's John Allen. I think when you look at John Allen, what he provides from a leadership standpoint, and what he backs up that leadership from a play standpoint, he is a dominant force, a guy that has to be accounted for by other teams. And when you look at this defense and how good they played this year, he's a huge piece of that and deserves a ton of credit.
I got to go in the opposite direction. I'm going offense, and I'm going with Terry McLaurin. I think he's the reason for the season. And see, I had a different, I say, how can I come to this conclusion? I think when I look back on this season, I think he was more responsible for wins than any other player on this team. Yeah. I'm talking Colts game. I'm talking about Philadelphia. I'm talking about Atlanta. Yeah. When he goes out there and he gets the job done, I'm going Terry McLaurin.
And they also talk so much and so many times that you need to get him the ball more.
Yeah, get him the
ball
more.
Get him the ball earlier. He is one of your best playmakers. You gave him a huge contract, and that is something we heard Taylor Heineke saying all the time. Look, you paid the guy for a reason.
Yeah, you did.
You need to put the ball in his hands. How about this? The player that showed the most growth this past year in 2022, Logan.
For me, that's Jamin Davis, and it's not even a question. Everyone was talking about him, and how he's a bust last year, and he just came out and played super well, taking on blocks, in coverage, understanding what the defense was trying to do, and then just growing up over the course of the season. And a guy who sneaky could have made the Pro Bowl in his own right, just from playing at a high level. So love the switch that he went through this last year. Great to see that.
A great thing, but you are wrong again.
Oh, all right,
so at the end of the day, and once you earn a nickname in the pros, you know you're doing something default. Like Darrick Forrest, he's the guy. You got to say, if you want a guy that makes some game-defiant plays, some guys that change the game, and a guy that, when we said at the beginning of the year, what do we expect out of him? Not much. I thought he brought Pro Bowl caliber play to this defense.
And he was so close to getting that 5th interception on the season, too. Man, he just seemed to always be in the right place at the right time, which he said is not luck. It's just preparation, understanding.
It is.
At one point, that ball's tipped right where you need to be for it. So which player, how about this, was the most underrated? Might not necessarily gotten all the spotlight, but deserves some recognition.
For me, that's 100% Cornelius Lucas. On a group of offensive line that was kind of banged up, you got Cosby in and out. Having a guy who's your swing tackle who can come in and play like a starter receiver and play at a super high level, lock down elite pass rushers. He does not get enough credit. Excellent job by him. He's my guy that deserves a little bit more flowers.
I'm going with Curtis Samuels, a.k.a. Tito Jackson.
But nobody knows who that is, Fred.
Nobody loves Tito because you know why? Johan Dotson comes in. He's the first rounder. You got Terry McLaurin on the other side that's getting it done. I'm sorry. I'm going with Curtis Samuel. Tito Jackson lives on through me.
I'm just going to keep moving on to the next one. Johan, who was your biggest surprise of this season?
For me, John Ridgway is the guy that sticks out because he was on a practice squad, got cut, they signed him, and he became a huge contributor, especially in that Cinco front.
I'm going Jamin Davis because I think he was the guy that people was waiting on to make plays as a rookie. It didn't happen, but this year I thought he just got better and better as the year went on.
Game slowed down for him is what he certainly told me as well. There you go. Those are our superlatives for the year. Now, one of the standouts on defense this past season was second-year safety Darrick Forrest. Starting with the first game of the year, the former Cincinnati Bearcat made his impact felt, recording his first of a team-leading 4 interceptions on the season. His 88 combined tackles were good enough for second most on the team this year, but as he told our crew on the Players Club, there's still plenty of room for improvement in his game.
Watching you this year, man, I can say a bit of a surprise. We heard some good things about you last year. Didn't get a chance to see you go out there and stretch your stuff, but man, you give us a chance now going into this offseason that's saying that we have a guy that we kind of could say, okay, we sure about opposite than Cam. How do you feel about what you did this year, and what are your thoughts going into the offseason? How are you going to try to make sure that you come in a little better than what you displayed?
I definitely feel like I went out there and I balled this year, and that was my goal in the statement. It was just to show the league that I can ball because, it's all about respect, and that respect comes with confidence, Definitely, it's a blessing, man, and I definitely never take it for granted. But going into off season, man, I'm definitely just going watch film, break it down, and I really want to improve on everything that I really messed up on. Anything that was a game-changing mistake, and I want to correct those, man, so I can come back and be consistent next year.
From the very first game of the season, the Jacksonville game, at that point in time, you wasn't the starter, but you made a tremendous impact on that game, made a lot of plays, ended up getting the game-sealing interception. Fast forward, you lead the team in interceptions. When you think about the season that you had and your role evolving, did it surprise you at all?
It low-key did, man, because that opportunity came that first game, man, and I was just like, I was on edge, man, because it was like I knew deep down inside I had it in me, but I just ain't had the shot yet, man. Right. So when I got out there, it was everything deep down, fueling me, burning deep inside that came out, and it was like, man, I'm really a wrecking force, man, but I gotta keep growing, I gotta keep developing, Can't get complacent, man. Can't worry about them stats and numbers and all that.
One of the things we know that that's probably said a lot in your room, because I've heard it a couple of times, that they want the safeties to be flexible, to be able to play, because we know we have that, the package where a lot of you guys on the field at one time. Is there something that, you just stated that you want to work on certain things in the off season? Are there positions or at times you was on the field this year where you kind of forgot you was playing one or the other, and that's something that's going to be pivotal in your off-season training this year?
Definitely, because in that the package you're talking about, the peso, man, we had like 5-6 DBs, and they'll rotate us, from deep. They'll put me down in the box, let me play, play in the box. So that's definitely something that I'm going to have to get more comfortable with. Like, they wanted me to play the Buffalo nickel spot last year, and it was like I was rotating there, but I never really got comfortable there, man. So definitely repetition, becoming muscle memory for me. And once it becomes muscle memory, it becomes easier for you. So it's all about getting those reps, man.
Yeah.
Man, the defensive back room, the wide receivers and the DB room, y'all the two flamboyant, kind of most personalities. We definitely had Cam on. Definitely. He's real laid back, chill. You kind of laid back and chill. What's that defensive back room like?
Man, it's really crazy for real, man. I'm telling you, cracking on each other. It really is, man. It'd be like when we not being serious and like on the field, we having fun. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You see it, man. Like they in the pregame video this week, we all was just dancing, and they was just recording us dancing throughout the season, and we didn't even know they was recording us, man. But that's just how it is. Like we really love each other in that DB room.
Who's the funniest guy in that room?
Funniest guy. it's tough, man, because everybody funny in different ways. Like some guys are just like, they're practical guys, they be funny, and then some guys just dead serious, and you just like, bro, this dude is a clown, like for real. Like, this dude's comedy. So man, it's just I'm glad I'm around great guys, man, that love to have fun, love the game.
Coming up, Forrest was not the only second-year player to see a jump in their play this season. Cornerback Benjamin St-Juste joins us after the break to discuss his year. Plus, it will be a busy offseason for Coach Rivera and company. We share our top offensive wish list items for the Commanders when we return. And become a 2023 Commanders season ticket member today. Claim your place at FedEx Field for the 2023 season starting at just $50. Commanders season tickets include more benefits than ever before. New year-round events tailored to you. 50% off game day concessions and more. Learn more at your place this season. Ticket deposits today at commanders.com/season tickets. Welcome back to Command Center. One of the players on Washington's defense to make an impact this season was second-year cornerback Benjamin St-Juste. The former third-round pick played in 12 games, recording a pair of sacks and 7 passes defensed. His biggest play might have been his goal line stand against the Chicago Bears. Here he is discussing his second season on the Players Club.
Obviously didn't end the way you wanted to with battling the ankle injury. How do you feel you played, and what led to your success on the field this year?
I feel like from year 1 to year 2, there was a big confidence boost, knowing that I, belong in this league and I can be a true CB1 starter here. And obviously that's just part of the process, going from a rookie, you playing against some top guys, you learn the game at the same time, everything is fast. So you're trying to figure out if you fit in and where you fit in, all that stuff. And I started the season at nickel, which is something that, I needed to do for the team to be successful, then move back to corner. And when I went through these, top receivers and matchup, and I saw I was performing well and all that stuff, that just gave me the confidence to say okay, I can do this week in and week out. And like you said, unfortunately, it's part of the game. I got injured, somebody fell on my ankle. So that's really the only thing I wish for 2023, a full season of being healthy so I can show the team, the fans, and all the people that I can do this day in, day out.
Well, one of the things we know, man, those things come. And you got to just stay prayed up. Because I used to pray so much just to make it through the season, man. But we know it comes, it comes with the territory. One of the things I wanted to ask you was just watching you play this year, was it a difference to you when you moved outside, or that was something that was natural to you? You played the inside so well, I almost thought that's where you did all, throughout college and whatever else it was. But was playing on the outside first for you, or it was something that you could do without having to really think about where you at on the field?
Yeah, so outside, like you said, is my natural position. That's where I played my whole career. I never really played on the inside, but I was always something that was on the back of my mind, because when I was getting recruited and, in the draft process, that was also something they brought up. There's you tall, you quick. So if we need to move you to safety or nickel, can you do that? And I always said, yeah. And the opportunity came. And I was able, to be prepared for that and play pretty well. And I think that's one of the assets that I have, is being how tall and big I am, but quick. Yeah. I can still be in the slot and blitz and all that stuff. And it's fun for real. It just opens up the game and the scheme.
Yeah, no doubt.
I can recall interviewing you, and you told us about you playing hockey and being, and that helping you with your quickness and change of direction. Being a 6'3" corner, that skill set. What were you like on that hockey on that ice, man?
I was tough for real. I would say I'm very confident I wanted this to come out cocky, but if I kept playing hockey, I think I would have made it to the NHL. I would have made it to the league, just because of how my work ethic and how gifted athletically. Shout out to Pops. I passed down the good genetics, but hockey, like I said, it's usually most of the guys they do track and all that stuff, so they're pretty fast and linear speed and all that stuff. Right. But hockey is so much. Side to side, stopping on a dime, playing defense, skating backward, all that stuff that helped me as a DB. And now I'm starting to see the transition from. I'm okay, that's why I can move so well. Yeah. Because I've mastered those skills as a young kid all the way until I was 14.
What are one of those moments you'll take this offseason and look back on and say, this is who I need to be? This is the game where I showed that I had my best outing, and this is what I want to take this over into the offseason and build from it.
I would say, honestly, that first game that I was put back at corner and I had like 4 or 5 PBUs against the Eagles, even though we lost, like that was good. But I would say like I'm looking at the stats that Justin Jefferson is putting up against DBs. I see like 180 yards, 200 yards, 3 yards, and I held them to 1 touchdown, 72 yards, as a second-year corner that's just, getting his name. So if I can recreate that type of performance, and that kind of was my eye-opening moment, like, that's the top receiver in the league. And my team has enough confidence to say, like, this is who you're going to follow the whole game. And so if I can build off that this offseason, that'll be perfect.
It is officially the offseason, and look, the coaches and the staff get this much of a break because there really is no official offseason in the NFL. They have to prepare for the draft, for free agency, and so Fred and Logan, I want to know, what is your wish list for this offseason? We already know they are doing tons of interviews for that OC position, so why don't we start there? Who wants to get it?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be the story of the next couple of weeks, right? Is find the right offensive coordinator. You want someone who can develop Sam Howell, kind of abide by this philosophy that Marty and Ron want to talk about. Run first, run second. What can you do there? Rely on your defense. Who's this person going to be? Because I think it's a big deal.
You know what? I like how you did that, Weatherman. You told lies and still told the truth at the same time. Hey, Joe Brady is the guy. I like to say, not who we going to get.
Why would he leave Buffalo?
Why not? Because he's the quarterback coach, and the upgrade from being a quarterback coach is the OC. All right, we're going to give you an OC job, and not only give you an OC job, we're giving you a young wolf, a young quarterback to mold.
All right, we'll see how much he likes Sam Howell, but I don't know. The other one I think is critical here is this offensive line, right? And one of the key elements of that is finding a spot for Sam Cosmi. Is he going to play guard? Is he going to play tackle? Big part of that's in the draft, but you got to get him settled because I think he's a big piece of what you want.
Well, he has a slight case of kangaroo arms, short arms, so therefore he has to play guard. All right, but I want a whole facelift for this thing. I want to go to LA and find a doctor, and I'm talking about total facelift.
Get the full facial, full back,
face
nice
off.
and tight.
I'm talking about you got to find a young tackle. Yeah. You got to find a young guard, and certainly you got to find a center.
So you got a guy you like too.
Yeah, I do. Minnesota,
watch
that. 6'6", 340 pounds.
And this goes with the quarterback. This goes with the O-line. Yeah. Maybe the most critical piece this offseason is developing your young play caller, right, Fred? Because he's going to be the guy. The talent's there. It's just, can you get him to be that guy that can win you some football games? I don't know. It's going to be a big question this offseason.
Fan base, I want to introduce you to the young wolf, Rob Stark. That's who he is.
Rob Stark?
That's what I call him.
And then who's this guy, man? I don't even know who this is. What school is this?
He a dog. First of all, if you go to the well and you always win, you can't got Fred Smoot. You ain't got Montez Sweat. You ain't got a player that
anybody like yourself in there.
This guy is the next award winner for the best cornerback in the league. Manuel Forrest, remember this name? He is that dude.
Second round pick?
No, first round.
Okay, I got you.
Don't let nobody else close to him.
I definitely agree. You need a cornerback, and it's going to be interesting with that first pick. Is it a cornerback? Is it an offensive lineman? Offensive guard?
I don't care where you go. You go to the bathroom, he's going with you.
Julie, what do you think? I don't know. I feel like Fred's a little biased here. What do you think?
Not really.
Fred is totally biased, but that's okay. I cannot wait until we get into where do they go in the draft, what positions, what names, what players. Fred's just going to clean the board with the Mississippi State guys. Okay, thanks, guys. Again, it was a wish list. Well, still to come, this weekend made for a wild divisional round of the playoffs. We'll break down the action and see which teams got that much closer to Super Bowl 57. And get ahead of the game and secure your luxury suite for the 2023 season. Experience the excitement of Commanders game day from the climate-controlled comfort of your private luxury suite. Enjoy gourmet catering options, VIP parking, and more for you and your guests. Learn more and place your suite deposit for the 2023 season at commanders.com/suites. Welcome back to Command Center. Let's take a quick whip around the NFL divisional playoffs, starting with the Jags at the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes injured early on in the game. On one leg, jump pass to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He's better even with just one leg than anybody else, right? Chiefs win, make their 5th straight AFC title game, tying the league record.
I mean, that mobility, the arm strength, the vision of the field, fantastic.
He's insane. Eagles dominated their 2 regular season games against the Giants and continued that trend on Saturday. Jalen Hurts' TD run makes it 28-0. Philly, they cruise to win.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh, my goodness. No Super Bowl hangover for Joe Burrow and the Bengals, jumping out to a 14-0 lead over the Bills on this Burrow to Hayden Hurst hookup.
So many young, talented quarterbacks in this playoffs year. Isn't that exciting for just to see all these young, talented pieces moving forward?
It's crazy.
Kind of looks fun playing in the snow. And then this will warm your heart, Commanders fans. An absolute disaster of a final play for the Cowboys against the 49ers. Ezekiel Elliott as the center. That was called a desperation play. Niners win.
Yes, I love to see my neighbor's grass die in his yard. It feels good.
We had to rub it in on that one. Come on, give us a little bit of a break. Let's go inside the matchup presented by FanDuel this fantasy football season. Get more ways to win with FanDuel. Okay, so then there were the four final remaining as we get to this weekend's game coming up. Surprised that the Cowboys had to get to that point in the game?
No.
Dak said, look, I just got to do better. There's no way around it. And
no, I'm not. The 49ers, I thought, had the better roster. The Cowboys, the better quarterback. The 49ers, the better head coach. And when you round that up, I think it happened how it was supposed to happen.
I think we've seen that Dak has been very inconsistent this year, very up and down. Obviously, in our game, the last game of the year, didn't play very well. And you saw that version of Dak. And against a defense like the 49ers, he's not going to play well. He needs a better performance than that. And I think, like you said, the 49ers are a better side.
We're going to pray for the Cowboys fans.
And meanwhile, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, just keeps on shining all the way through. My goodness.
I call him Mr. Relevant. He's relevant, and he's so relevant that the number 3 pick in the draft 2 years ago could be traded. That's how relevant Purdy is.
Okay, let's get to that game in the snow. I mean, to me, it kind of looked fun.
No, it was football weather.
But is it harder on offense or defense to play those kinds of games?
It's hard on defense.
I think it's definitely harder on defense.
He knows where he's going. I need to figure it out. And one little nudge can make sure that I don't get to him. If we go in there, my coach say, let's play zone, we get beat up and down the field all day long.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that. I mean, like as an offensive player, when it was snowing, everyone's like, oh, it's hard to catch the football. It's dry. The ball doesn't get wet. It sticks to your hands, and I know where I'm going. Big advantage for me.
I was just thinking of the fans. I hope they were bundled up and really warm, but it did look like a lot of fun. Okay, who wins? 49ers, Eagles? Just give me a name.
49ers.
I'm going to go 49ers also.
Okay, Bengals and Chiefs, Fred.
I'm going to go Bengals. I'll do Joe Burrow, the best quarterback in football. He's the best quarterback in football. Yes, he is.
Gosh, I guess with Mahomes banged up, I'm going to go with Bengals as well. You talked me into it. Just in one sentence.
There you go. That's their picks for moving on. Thanks for joining us on this Command Center.